Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is something every international student, every parent, and every future applicant needs to hear, because what I am about to share might be the biggest bad news yet for anyone planning to study in Canada in 2026. And no, this isn't just another rumor or a small policy update. This is something that could change the way people plan their entire future. So stay with me till the end, because you need to understand what's happening, why it's happening, and what you can still do to save your dream before it's too late. Let us start with the hook that everyone is talking about. CIC News has confirmed that the Canadian government is preparing major changes for 2026. And trust me, these are not the type of changes international students were hoping for. After the major restrictions of 2024 and 2025, everyone assumed the situation would finally improve by 2026. But the reality is moving in the opposite direction. More rules, more conditions, stricter processing, limited spaces, and tougher eligibility requirements. The biggest bad news is that studying in Canada in 2026 will not be the same as it was even a few years ago. Students always dreamed of Canada as a welcoming country with easy access to study permits, work opportunities, and pathways to permanent residence. But now the landscape is shifting dramatically. The government is focusing on reducing international student intake and tightening the system even more. CIC News reports that new policies are being drafted which could restrict approvals, raise financial requirements, limit certain programs, and potentially make post-graduation work permits harder to obtain for many categories. The government wants to ensure that only highly qualified and financially stable students enter the country. This means the competition will be tougher and acceptance chances lower. Now imagine this scenario. For the last decade, Canada has been the #1 destination for students from countries like India, Pakistan, Nigeria, the Philippines, and Mani More. This created pressure on the housing market, job market, and education sector. In 2024 and 2025, the government responded by capping the number of study permits and putting strict rules on colleges. Many people were hoping that these restrictions were temporary and that by 2026 things would go back to normal. But according to the latest updates, instead of relaxing the rules, Canada is preparing to continue them and even expand them. That is the part that worries everyone. One of the biggest concerns for 2026 is the possibility of increased financial proof requirements. Many students already struggled with the raised cost of living funds in 2024. But now the government may adjust them again because inflation is rising. This means students may need significantly more funds in their bank statements to qualify. Many families who barely managed to arrange the increased amounts before will find it even more difficult now. If these changes are implemented, thousands of applicants may no longer meet the financial threshold. The second major piece of bad news is the tightening of program eligibility. The government is focusing on high-demand fields, especially STEM, healthcare, and trades. But many other programs that used to be popular, such as business, hospitality, general arts, and management diplomas, may not be prioritized. Students who plan to choose easy or common programs will face rejection risks. In 2026, the Immigration Department aims to limit students who enroll in low-value programs that do not contribute significantly to the Canadian labor market. This means the strategy of picking any random course just to enter Canada will not work anymore. Another major change relates to post-graduation work permits. PGWPs used to be the biggest attraction for international students. They allowed graduates to stay in the country, work full-time, and eventually apply for permanent residence. But now the government is considering stricter rules. There may be limits based on institutions and programs, and some private colleges could lose PGWP eligibility entirely. Students in 2026 may have to be extremely careful while choosing their college, because a wrong choice could result in no work permit after graduation. Processing times could also be affected. As the government tries to carefully screen applicants, approve fewer students, and apply new rules, delays may occur. Many students might apply in early 2026, but receive decisions late. This could ruin their semester intake or force them to defer. Some may even lose their seat if the processing becomes slower. This is especially important for students who think they can apply last minute. Let's also talk about acceptance rates. They've already fallen in 2024 and 2025. But according to several experts and news updates, Rejection rates may increase further in 2026. The government is aiming for a controlled and limited number of new arrivals, which means a large number of applications may never turn into visas. Students with weak profiles, below-average academics, or incomplete documentation may be eliminated quickly. The IRCC wants stronger and more serious applicants, not volume. But despite all this bad news, you need the full picture. The purpose of these changes is not to destroy student opportunities, but to fix a system that was becoming unsustainable. The government wants to protect students from scams, improve education quality, and stabilize the job and housing markets. While this does create challenges, it also means that genuine and well-prepared students will still have opportunities. The key is preparation, planning, and choosing the right path. So what can you do if you still want to study in Canada in 2026? First, start preparing early. Don't wait for the final announcement of new rules. Your documentation, funds, and educational choices should be ready in advance. Strong academics, a compelling study plan, proper financial support, and the right course selection will be more important than ever. Second, choose your institution carefully. Public colleges and universities will remain the safest path. Avoid low-quality private institutions because they may lose PGWP eligibility. Always double-check if your program leads to a post-graduation work permit. Third, be financially prepared. Even if the government increases the funds requirement, make sure you can meet the new threshold. Don't rely on last-minute arrangements. IRCC closely examines the source of funds, so everything must be genuine and well documented. Fourth, focus on programs that have high demand in the Canadian job market. STEM, healthcare, engineering, skilled trades, cybersecurity, and data-related programs remain strong. Avoid extremely common programs unless you have a strong academic background and a meaningful career plan. Fifth, keep your expectations realistic. Canada is not closing its doors, but it is becoming selective. Only genuine students with clear intentions and strong preparation will get approvals. If your profile is weak, work on improving it instead of rushing an application. While today's news may sound like a heavy warning, it's important to face reality before making big decisions. The dream of studying in Canada is still possible, but it requires more effort, more planning, and more seriousness than ever before. Many students will still succeed, but the ones who take these updates lightly may face disappointment. And if you feel nervous after hearing all this, remember that awareness is your biggest strength. Students fail not because rules change, but because they don't adapt to those changes. You are already ahead of thousands of people just by learning about what's coming in 2026. So now, as we wrap up this video, I want you to stay strong, stay informed, and stay prepared. Canada is still a great destination for education, but only for those who take the process seriously. If you want me to make more videos about Canada study permits, immigration updates, PGWLP, pathways, or tips to build a strong application, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe and stay focused.